Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday, so I get to be funny. I saw this on Liberal Hive Mind and it just made me laugh. So I hope you get a kick out of it too. I hope not too many of you are Democrats. That was funny. Anyway, we're back in City Skylines, and it's all about roads today. I'm concentrating on industries, maybe too much, I'm not sure, but I've never done this in the game before, and even though it's vanilla, I have no DLC, you can still get industries in your cities. And I really want to try it this time. I just want to see if it is profitable, if it helps get rid of this regular industry that's polluting. I'm curious, and I have a lot of natural resources everywhere. Oil, ore, farming, forestry. It's a really good place for it. Now, I also need water. I know that I need water. So, today's video concentrates on moving that neighborhood we worked on the last time where I attempted terraforming and failed miserably. So I have to first of all concentrate on my main road in. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to be there anymore at all. I'm going to buy some more squares and I'm going to ship that over one way or the other. But I don't like where the entryway is at this moment. And in conjunction with all of these industries that I'm talking about, I think I'm going to move it over to the right. There's a mountainous, well, hilly, I guess you would call it. There's a hilly spot there. And there's a train track also on the outside to the south. And I think if I ran both of those along the right, that might help this area out a little bit more. But as you can see, we're not doing bad as far as income goes. But they really want more industry, and I am so reluctant to place industry down simply because of the pollution and noise factor. I know it's necessary, and I know there are ways to get around it. But it's on the water. I probably screwed up there first. Oy. I thought this time I would go to the water so that the pipes would be easier to install. And that was probably a dumb decision on my part. But a lot of my industry is complaining that they're not getting their goods in or shipped out. And I know that's because of traffic. And in vanilla mode, you don't have the choice to make it hard or easy. And without DLC and mods, this is what you get. So the game decides how many people come into your city and how many people get Thanos snapped out of existence. I don't have a problem with that yet, but I will, eventually. But I won't be considering mods until I get far more comfortable with this game. And I'm just not at that point yet. I have not reached the point where I can just turn this game on and start up a city and just go to town on it. I'm not there yet. And that's what I'm attempting to do in this series, is gain that confidence to be able to play the game. Not like a pro. I don't think I'll ever play anything like a pro. But with confidence. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm building my confidence up. Now, again, as far as the road goes, I think it's an improvement, but it's not great. I don't want anything on this main entrance here. I don't like the fact that there are even junctions there, but I know they're necessary. I'm not a fan of intersections at all. And I think that intersections are what screw up a traffic situation in any city building game. So I will make every attempt to make a road go over an expressway or under an expressway rather than connect to it. But I know that's how these people get in and out of the game. But I think there should just be one way in and one way out. And then everybody else can drive around and through the city on lesser roads. But I just don't think that that expressway should be touched in any other way. So the entrances and the exits should be on either side of the city, not directly down the main square. Oh, I don't know. I could be wrong about that too, but that's just my thinking. So I'm going to take what's on the right and move it over to the left, which might not be a good idea because of the industry pollution. But there's going to come a point real soon where I get offices, and I know offices are great for that. The problem I've discovered with offices, and I'm sure you guys already know that, is they require a higher educated worker. And I think that universities have opened up to me. I just haven't installed one yet. They're not cheap. And I'm being frugal at this point with the money because there have been a few times when I have played this game and I'm moving along at what I assume is a fairly normal clip, and I'm watching my residential, commercial, industry bars, and anytime one moves up, I will add more, and anytime one goes down, I will ignore it. And the next thing I know, I'm broke. And I'm on the brink of bankruptcy. It's like, what happened? What did I do wrong? So that has scared me enough to the point where it's like, all right, I'm going to pay attention to money and nothing else. So I can put a university in here. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too realistic, but I just don't feel like I have enough population to even warrant something like that yet. So maybe it's my fault. Lots of things. I'm being too realistic for my own good. I'm being too pragmatic for my own good. And I'm being too terrified for my own. I'm ruining it for myself. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not going for absolute amazing city, the pride and joy of city skylines is my city. It's not going to happen. And that's not what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for skill. I'm just trying to get my skill up in this game. So it's practice and mistakes made and lessons learned. So at this point, I know you guys, gosh, that makes me so sad when I see that. I'm moving the amenities away from here so that I can get rid of the lumpy bumpies that are up there in that corner. I really ruined that. Oh, speaking of that, I know I was in a very pissy mood when I made that video, but that's just me. I take everything to heart and I get very upset, and then I need a couple hours. Just calm down. It's a game, you moron. Anyway, I think what you need to do is smooth the land out before you build anything. Maybe that's where I made my mistake. So once the house is plopped down, there's nothing you can do about it unless you have that mod where you can just click nodes and then push things up or down. Well, push them down, pull them up. So that might be where I made my mistake. So if I get rid of these roads, I should be able to smooth out that terrain. And at this point, I don't even think I want to anymore. I'll just leave it the way it is. Being honest here, I did not even notice that there was a slope in that terrain until I built on it. So I know I have bad eyesight. I mean, I can't even see after dark, but I didn't think it was that bad. I honestly thought it was flat land. So that's my fault. But I think that was the mistake I was making. Also, the left and the right click, the primary and secondary, you mustn't call it left and right. It has to be primary or secondary. Oi. The left button is primary and the right button is secondary, which makes sense because the majority of your mouse clicks are done with the left side. But I think I was making the mistake when smoothing and flattening the terrain. I just can't remember now. I would have to go back into the game mechanics. I think I was pressing the right mouse button to find the terrain and then using left to... I don't remember, but I think I was doing that backwards. Ugh. And you can't move cemeteries or garbage places until they're empty. And then you gotta shut them off and move them. So that cemetery has to stay there, and that's kind of sad. And then these guys on the right there, they were getting very bummed out, and the land value was going down, and I just felt so bad. I felt bad, but there's a purpose for it, so I have to kind of ignore that. So I got rid of the bumpy area, and then I continue moving down on the right side, but it is cutting into my farmland, so I think I'm going to go for making a ton of money. I'm going to try and make these guys as happy as possible so they don't abandon me, so that I can get the money up, 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 and then I'm just going to shift everything. I'm going to have to figure out where this city should go as opposed to where it is now. And that is a part of the way the game is played. They give you one square with an entrance, and you have to build from that. And then the further along in the game you get, all of a sudden you realize, well, I have a water source here, and oh my goodness, look, there's a railway. Oh, hey, we're sitting on top of oil. So I don't know how many other City Skylines players do it the way I'm thinking of doing it. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it that way, where you build a new city and then obliterate the old one. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that, but I do it in SimCity 5 all the time. I don't know how well it's going to work in Cities Skylines. At this point, my garbage was just going berserk, and you can see how many landfills I have here, but I did have the ability to buy the incinerator plant, so I got a couple of those. And I sat there just staring at the landfills for so long, waiting until they all emptied. So a majority of those landfills are gone and they're replaced with incineration. But I needed one here because this side of town just kept saying, we're not getting our garbage, we're not getting our garbage. And I thought that that had to do with the roads, because the industry was saying, hey, we can't ship these out and nobody's bringing anything in. I thought that was the same problem with garbage. So I ended up putting a landfill up here on this hill, and it helped. But again, that's not what I want to do. So yeah, I'm making one last ditch effort here to try. I really think I'm just clicking the wrong mouse buttons. So, because it shouldn't go up there. It should all be flat. Gosh, I wish it could be flat. I'll hopefully figure it out. I don't know. This is the part of my city that I hate the most. I just don't like it, and it makes me sad that that's all the water that I have. But I think it's coming along. I really do. I'm going to get rid of these areas. I just don't think they're placed strategically. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. But I want to make a lot of money first before I do that. And I think I have a lot. I got $1 million at this point, so it's the people I need to bring up. But I feel more comfortable with that much money to make all these decisions. I don't know. But that's it for today's video. It's just showing you that I've moved what I wanted to move, and I updated the roads, hoping that would help. But I'm going to buy a couple more plots of land, and we are going to take care of industry. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end and supporting my channel. I really appreciate that. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you're interested. Take very good care of yourselves and have a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.